Welcome to the Universal Robots Virtual Factory for Metals and Machining. As you know, metals and machining is a very broad industrial sector, and it contains everything from off-road vehicles to ball bearings, structural steel to machine shops, and so much more. Our Metals and Machining Virtual is actually three factories. One is building an industrial compressor, the second is doing heavy-duty welding on construction equipment, and the third manufactures powered hand tools. These three factories showcase various applications that are common to the metals and machining sector. Also note that clicking on each cell zooms into the cell details, including links for videos, case studies, and more. So let's start off by looking at the front of the compressor manufacturing line, and we're going to go to the welding cell. This cell has two UR10Es welding components for the compressor frame. The UR10E is the most popular model for welding, and these cells are doing MIG welding. But also note that UR partners support TIG, laser, spot welding, as well as plasma and oxyacetylene cutting. This configuration has two robots and one operator, and it's a very common setup. In this case, the operator is loading blanks for one robot, while the second robot is welding. Other common configurations have two fixtures per robot for even higher productivity. Now, these UR10Es are a perfect size for these small brackets, but for larger parts, the UR20 offers a bigger reach, 1750 millimeter. You can check out welding solutions from partners on the UR Marketplace. And in all the cells we'll look at today, if you click the More Information button, you'll see a brief write-up of the application. You can go to links for more information, and you can download files. So now we're going to back out and go over to the material removal cell. In this cells, we have multiple UR10Es grinding weld joints on the compressor frame. The cobots are invert mounted to allow the best access to the grinding surface. All UR cobots can be mounted in any orientation with a simple software setting. Now, it's common in material removal applications to use the built-in force torque sensor to control the grinding process. And UR cobots are at work grinding and polishing metals, plastics, wood, glass, and other materials. For heavy-duty applications, the UR30, with its increased payload and stiffness, might be the better choice. Check out material removal solutions from partners at the UR Marketplace and talk to your UR account manager for recommendations on certified systems integrators who specialize in grinding and polishing. Next, we'll go to the CNC machine tending cells. In this case, we have UR30s loading and unloading CNC machine tools. The UR30's 35 kg payload supports heavier parts, or in this case, dual grippers. A finished part is removed from the chuck and a new blank is inserted. Blanks are being delivered by sister company Mirror AMRs, and finished parts are removed and delivered to the next process operation. In this application, the UR30 is mounted on a mobile cart. It allows it to be moved from machine tool to machine tool, depending on the production plan for the day. The UR Cobot family supports a wide range of machine tools, brands, and sizes. And the UR Cobot controller manages all machine interfaces, including the automatic door opener, part present, cycle start, cycle stop, and system status. You can find multiple machine tending solutions from partners at the UR Marketplace. Now we're going to go look at a high torque screwdriving application. In this station, a pair of UR10Es are setting large screws into the compressor frame. The UR10E is a good fit for this application with a 12 kg payload and a 1300 millimeter reach. Cobot screwdriving is a very popular application. It really delivers improved quality with fewer misfeeds and reduces repetitive stress injuries to operators. UR cobots are at work automating screwdriving assembly processes with many different types of screws, including steel, stainless, plastic, and more. Screws can be automatically blow-fed directly to the screwdriver from a bulk supply or picked up individually from a standalone feeder. In this application, operators are manually starting the screws in the frame. The built-in force torque sensor is often used to help place the screws and confirm the screws are seated at the end of the cycle. And you can find multiple cobot screwdriving solutions from partners at the UR Marketplace. Now we'll move on to a high torque nut running application. In this station, a UR20 is attaching a control panel to the compressor frame by running nuts onto threaded studs. Nut running is a demanding manual process with a handheld tool, as the torque required to properly seat the nuts is transferred to the operator. Due to their mass and size, nuts are usually picked up individually from a feeder. The built-in force torque sensor is also used in these applications to help place the screws and confirm the screws are seated. Now we'll go take a look at a light-duty screwdriving application. In this station, a UR5E is setting small screws to install a cover plate. The UR5E was a good fit for this application with a 5 kg payload and 850 millimeter reach. And we have the same characteristics of screwdriving as mentioned previously about feeding and different types of screws that can be handled. Now we're going to move over to our second factory. This is a heavy-duty welding factory. In this cell, a UR20 is MIG welding an excavator bucket that would commonly be found in the construction equipment such as backhoes. The UR20 was selected for its reach. It's perfect for larger weldments. In this application, the robot controller is also controlling a large 2-axis positioner, allowing the robot to weld the entire part without refixturing. And a reminder, UR partners support not just MIG, but TIG, laser, and spot welding, as well as plasma and oxyacetylene cutting. Now we'll move to the third factory, which is manufacturing handheld power tools. In this case, we're looking at an end-of-line operation, palletizing the finished products. Also note, the factory is also moving the finished pallets from the palletizing cell to shrink wrap and then shipping with a mirror pallet jack. The UR20 with a 25 kg payload and a 1750 millimeter reach is perfect cobot for palletizing. The 25 kilo payload is at the high end for manual palletizing, and the reach of the UR20 supports all standard size pallets, both Euro and American standards. It also supports full height pallet with some limitations based on the size of cases and the pallet patterns. UR palletizing solutions handle a wide variety of applications, including raw products, boxes, totes, buckets, trays, or bags. Cobot palletizing cells are extremely compact and can be easily moved from line to line depending on production needs. And finally, you'll see mirror AMRs moving product throughout the complete factory. It's a very efficient way to move product from an interlogistics standpoint. It's far more efficient than manual operation or forklifts. That concludes our tour of the Metals and Machining virtual factory. Thank you for your time and attention.